Hey, what's going on, guys? I started making videos not too long ago on Facebook because I wanted to be able to interact with people, and I have a difficult time doing that because I'm a little eccentric. Um, my intellect doesn't always necessarily allow me to interact with people the way I think I am. And sometimes I come off as abstract or a little different, or sometimes just too confrontational. And I don't mean to do so. Just a very passionate person, especially with the things that drive me. Now, I'm not claiming that I can cure racism, but I do believe that we all play a part, and we all have this chance in our lives that we can every day take steps to make racism insignificant. Truly make it insignificant. Take away the power of racism, because that's all it is. It's power that you're giving someone over you. It's control that you're giving to someone. They don't have that control. Nobody has anyone in chains. Nobody dictates what someone else does. They can influence it all they like. They can even put measures and means in your way to help influence you. But no one can make you do anything. You have to choose your actions and what you're going to do. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I want people to start looking at that. Start looking at people on the whole. Stop judging people by their criteria. Stop judging people on the color of their skin or certain specific things they say. Look at people overall. Judge their entire character. Take all of it into account. We all make mistakes. We are all sinners. We all have our own devices that just keep us down. Because we're a very self-absorbed species. And nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to admit it. But we are. We're always about me, me, me until it comes to responsibility. And then we don't want any of it. Nobody wants to take responsibility. It's the reason a lot of people have a hard time believing that God is in them and that God is them, that they're their own image of God. Like, they're not God to anybody else. I'm not God to anybody else. I'm God to me. I am my God. God is in me. But I am also responsible for all my actions. And see, if you try to put God as somebody else that's like up in the sky and he's not in you and he's not you, well, then you can avoid responsibility by passing it off on the devil and the evil and the bad in the world. You know, the devil made me do it. Instead of, no, I just free will. I had free will and I chose to take and do this. These were my actions. I take responsibility. And even myself, I struggle at times wanting to take responsibility for things I do, but I have to force myself. We have to force ourselves, and we have to force each other. Because this is what's happened. This is what this world's become by passing the buck, by blaming something else, by not saying, hey, you know what? I'm pulled over because my tag's expired. I knew my tag was expired. I'm pulled over because I'm driving and my headlights are out. I'm pulled over because I was speeding, and I know I was speeding. Not just, oh, you know what? This guy just woke up this morning and said, I'm just going to go pull over this person because of the color of their skin, or because it's their sex, or because of their feelings. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people want to speculate the worst in other people. Oh, it had to happen because the worst intentions. It couldn't just be that, hey, you know what? That cop just came on duty and he got a call that sent him in a specific direction. And then he got canceled on that call because there was another unit closer. So he hung a left to go back to what he was doing, his side of town he was doing his patrol on. And while he happened to make that left, he spotted you making that illegal turn. So what did he do? What his job is? His job's to patrol around and look for people who are breaking the law. Is it fair? Who knows? You know what? A lot of that money pays for a lot of things. And we might not like it. We might not like getting a speeding ticket. Don't speed. Just don't speed. And when you do get caught speeding, just, hey, if you were speeding, take it. If you weren't speeding, then just take it. Fight your case in court. Don't give an officer a reason. Don't give anybody a reason. And it's not about giving them a reason to do something wrong. It's about giving them a reason to hassle you any further. Don't take a minor traffic stop and turn it into a fucking federal offense. Don't do that. And it's not necessarily, again, about anything more than avoiding responsibility. Because I could go right into it and tell you why it happens. I could tell you exactly how we're programmed to feel this way. I've grown up, I have many friends of many different colors. And I've grown up in their houses, and I've been to their houses, and I've heard things that really disturbed me, even when I was a kid. I used to hear shit in white homes when I was a kid that disturbed me. And I would say something. I would tell my friend, man, that isn't right, dude. I don't know why your parents are talking like that, but that isn't right. But I'll tell you what, the amount of white homes that I grew up in, that I went to, and I heard racial shit, and I heard people, like, teaching their kids, literally teaching racism, few and far in between. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. Like, few and far in between. I cross over the river in Illinois, all my white family, all my white friends, like, we never sat around and just, oh yeah, you know what, we can't wait to screw over black people. That wasn't it. Now, were there country fucking hicks that I knew that had that inbred mentality? Sure. And what could you do? You don't promote it. You tell them as often as you can. You try to remain that person's friend, but tell them, hey man, that's not. You try to display to them, hey, that's not the appropriate way to be. You try to teach them by your interactions with them, so maybe you influence them a bit. And I know some people are like, oh, you just don't hang around with those people. See, if you stop hanging around with those people, then who's influencing them? Now it's just bad people influencing them. Now it's just bad people that have that say in their life about what they should believe. The same as I was a young white kid who would go to my black friends' homes, and I would literally hear their parents talking the most vile shit about white people, like I wasn't even there. And saying these things that I knew were incorrect and false. Like, nobody was teaching me. Nobody was teaching my friends just to screw over black people and look for every way to take advantage of somebody. That's not what we were taught. But yet here I was in my home and in people's homes where that wasn't being taught. Instead, they were being taught, hey, be kind to people. Look out for people. It doesn't matter their skin color. You look out for what people are inside. You judge them by their character, how they treat you, how they treat others. And yet I would go across the river and I would go hang out with my other friends, and all my black friends, like the majority, I would say like a good 90%, 9 out of 10 households I was in, there was always this oppressive like nature being taught. And it saddened me as a kid. And when I grew up, I said, I'm not gonna fucking tolerate that. I'm not gonna stand for that. When I see that, I'm gonna call that out. When I see wrong, I'm gonna call that out. I became a Marine to call shit out. That's all we can do. But we have to do it. We have to stand up and we have to call that out. We can't just group things together because it's easy. We can't just blame the color of our skin because that's easier than facing responsibility. Nobody gets to do that. We have to stop that. We have to end that. And if we do that, if we all work together for the same goal, we can make this happen. My friend took a hit for her actions because people rushed to judgment. They rushed to assume. And the media helped them do it. The media portrayed it just like all the rest of them. They portrayed it as just another young woman filming a cop dying. They didn't bother to get a statement from her first. They didn't bother to ask her first, which they should have before they even ran it. They ran it just like, because it's out there, we better run it. Because if they thought it was wrong, they shouldn't have ran it in the first place. But they should have talked to her. They should have said, hey, what happened? And she could have told them, hey, you know what? I saw it go down. I begged the guy not to use his gun. He shot him, and then he took off. I rushed to the officer. I reported on his radio that the officer was down and he needed help. And then others showed up. I wasn't qualified to care for him. I couldn't do anything for him. I was emotionally distraught. And the only thing I could think of was, I can't do no more. I need to record this. I need to make sure somebody knows what's going on. Somebody can see what happened here. I truly and honestly believe that is exactly what she thought. And why do I believe that? Because I took the time to evaluate the whole situation without just speculating and without just jumping to the worst conclusions. And that's what we all need to do. This is the reason I made that video. I didn't make that video to go viral. I didn't make that video for anybody really, except for her, for Kenesha Harper. I made that video for her because what she did was inspiring. The things that I try to do in my life, the things I try to teach my children to do, the things that inspire others to do good things as well. And that is exactly what she did. Exactly what she did. I spoke to her last night, and I got that same sentiment from her. I went online. I tried to find anything I could to just, where did these people get this idea? Where could they have gotten this idea? And then I watched one interview she gave, and I just got done reading all these people saying she did it for attention. She was doing it for attention. I watched an interview. Do you know what I saw? I didn't see a woman dolled up. I didn't see a woman with makeup on and smiling or happy or anything. I saw a woman distressed. I saw a woman without makeup. I saw a woman whole. I saw a woman just raw. I saw her everything just bare, naked, and out there, just showing that this is who I am. I'm human. I'm human, and I'm sad, and I'm hurt. Because I just watched another human being died, and I did everything I thought I could. I did everything that I knew to do. And I'm being ridiculed, and I'm being threatened, and that's wrong. That's so wrong. That's wrong on so many levels. I don't believe in victimhood. I really don't. I despise this victimhood, virtue signaling bullshit. I really do. And I refuse to paint Sheena Harper as a victim. I won't. She's a hero. She did everything that she could do. And had Officer Langsdorff survived, she would be getting a medal right now. She'd get the key to the city. And she'd be hailed a hero amongst everyone. Well, just about everyone. At least in the law enforcement community. And the sad part is that there would still be people who ridicule her. If he had lived, there would still be people that shamed her. You should have let that pig die. You shouldn't have helped him. There's still going to be those people. And I can't judge them, and I can't claim that they're everybody. I can't even label them as all black. Because there are many brown people and white people that would have said and done the same shit. So enough. Let's stop. Let's end the divide. Let's start judging people based on the character that they are and how much they put into life. Let's start holding our people responsible. And by our people, I mean everyone. Everyone. Hold people up when they do right. Hold people accountable when they do wrong. It's not about selling out. It's not about fucking over your own. It's about looking out for your own. And your own is human beings. We are all human beings. We're a different shade, a different pigment, whatever you want to call it. We're all human beings. I get happy and I laugh. I get sad and I cry. And I know everybody feels the same. So then why are we divided? Why are we acting like we're not the same? Why are we acting like we're on different teams? I'm not saying you have to be naive. I'm not saying you have to let people take advantage of you. That's not what I'm saying. If you're an educated person, if you're smart enough, you're going to see when people are trying to take advantage of you. But I'm telling you, with every bit of experience I have, don't assume people are taking advantage of you until you have proof. Because by assuming it, all you're doing is fueling this divide. You're creating apprehension in yourself. And then whether you believe it or not, even the slightest bit of apprehension that you have displayed to someone else gives them apprehension. Now you have two people that don't trust each other for no reason at all. No reason at all. Other than one person assumed the worst. Instead of just living life and finding out. Instead of actually spending time with that person and seeing what their character was really about. I expected a lot of negativity from my post. And then again, I kind of didn't. Because you know what? I'm not a young woman. I'm a grown-ass man who, if somebody came at me the wrong way, we're going to have issues. I don't want issues with people. I don't want to have to deal with people. Not on that level. And I very well could have just backed out and not made the video because I just assumed the worst and assumed that I'm just going to get attacked for making a video like that. But instead, I have faith in people. I have faith in humanity. I have faith in everyone. It's not about skin color to me. It's about character. It's about who we are. It's about standing up and defining who we are as people and demanding that you want to be equals, then let's be equals. Let's all act like we care. Let's all act like we're here for the same reason. Let's be better. Let's grow. We are growing whether you want to realize it or not. There were people in chains long, long ago. And over the centuries, just the color of the chains have changed. That's it. The color of the people in the chains has changed. That's it. But we've all worn chains. And now we're all free. And we're all standing here. And I'm saying, let's not shackle each other. Let's bind each other together. Let's hold hands and let's beat this. There's these movements that go through, once every 10, 12 years, another movement goes through. We're going to stop this. Let's just stop it. Let's stop teaching our kids hate. Let's stop teaching our kids to not trust people based on the color of their skin and their criteria. Instead, teach your kids to be open. Teach your kids to just keep a positive outlook. To be positive. I promise you, you get stopped by a cop and you're positive, you might get a ticket. I've gotten plenty of tickets being positive. But I'm going to tell you what, the 2 or 3 times that I did lose my shit and acted like an asshole, I got a ticket every one of those times. And I deserved it. Because I should have just kept my mouth shut. I didn't need to make the cop's day any worse. I didn't need to shit on him for doing his job. He was just doing his job. Imagine how I would have felt if I went to work and somebody just came up and started fucking yelling at me because I was doing my job. You're creating hate. You're creating a divide with that. Stop it. Please, just stop. Let's come together. I'm not saying everybody's got to be like all kumbaya and shit. I'm not saying you have to let people walk on you. I'm saying that give people a chance. Don't always assume the worst. Don't always expect the worst. And maybe you won't get the worst. Rah? Take care and be blessed, people. Thank you.